she started to say, no, Papa, next time I want to take over RZE. So I was like,
Okay.
oh, okay.
Already eyeing it.
Yeah, she's been eyeing it since last year.
From Value Invest Asia, this is the Asian Mavericks. We explore the hidden stories of successful founders, business leaders, and investors in Asia. Here's your host, Stanley Lim.
This week, we're talking to the founder of RZE Watches, Travis Tan. If you are an entrepreneur by yourself, you know the difficulty of really starting a business from scratch. But what Travis is attempting here is one step harder, because he's not just starting a business, but also one that relies heavily on a brand name. And when we think of brands that truly have brand value, maybe there's only a few at the top of your head. This is because it is really hard to build a valuable brand. And I dare say that it is even more competitive in the watch industry. Yet, Travis was not just able to build one, but two successful niche brands over the past decade. And what is even more surprising is that Travis has jumped into the wild world of entrepreneurship even when he was already enjoying a rather stable and prestigious job. So Travis has definitely been bitten by the entrepreneur bug, and we have his father to thank for that.
I think my dad played a very big part in my childhood to make me want to be an entrepreneur. Because my dad has always been a trader. So basically, he sells everything under the sun. When I was a kid, he was trading car spare parts. And then during festive season, he will sell like fireworks. And sometimes he'll sell like alcohol. He will sell anything that he can sell, right? He will try to sell it. So being a trader, the way I look at him, it fascinates me. Like just buying something from another person and then reselling it to the next person, right? And that's how he brought the whole family up. I have 3 sisters and my mom is not working. So just doing that, right? He can bring the whole family up, sending us overseas for studies and everything. I really amazed by how he did it. And that really makes me think that, hey, maybe I can do that too,
And so would you say that, are you consciously aware that how your dad is really making money, or is just something that over time, maybe when you look back, then you realize how hard it was for him?
I think I had quite a comfortable childhood. We don't need to worry about money and stuff. But looking at the way he handles the trading business, but he always tell us not to follow what he's doing.
Right.
He said that's basically because he didn't go to school and then he wants us to go to school, get a proper job, stable job, and then
be a doctor, be a lawyer.
Yeah, be a doctor, be a lawyer. Yeah.
Okay, I see. So this is actually not the life he wanted for you to become.
Yeah, exactly. I think till today, my mom still tell me, why you do all this? Just do your job. You have a stable job. Don't think so much. You are making good amount of money. Don't need to think so much. Don't do all this. Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's on your dad's side, but on your mom's side, like you said, she's a homemaker. So how is she as a mom at home? Is she a very strict mom? And what kind of value did she instill in you?
I think my mom. I can't say she's very strict. She's very encouraging. She's very supportive in whatever we do. So she's the typical stay-at-home mom, a bit naggy, but she's always very supportive in whatever we do. I think that plays a big part with me trying out different things, willing to try out different things that right. helps.
Okay, you were educated in Singapore, and then after that you went into university.
Yeah.
And right after university, of course, you got quite a stable job, like what your mom wanted you to have.
Yeah.
So at what point do you feel that why is this nagging feeling that you have of starting a business? And I assume that you're doing pretty well with your job, even right at the beginning. So what prompted you to really jump the ship and try out something?
I think back in JC days and uni days, I already starting some side hustle with a couple of classmates. We were selling t-shirts and stuff. We're doing okay. We got extra pocket money, and then I think that really just make me like enjoy being able to do what I want. I don't need to ask my parents for money to buy something that I want, and that was in the school days. And then when I started work, the other thing that prompted me in starting my own business is just creating something that I own, and it gives me a sense of security over having a job when you need to look at someone and then be at their mercy lah, basically at the boss mercy lah.
And of all the industry, why the watch industry?
I think most important thing is having a very it's something that I'm passionate about lah, for watches. I really like. I mean, I'm a shopaholic. Like my wife always say, I like shopping, and watch is something that I buy a lot. And it come to a chance that my wife's uncle actually owns the factory. So
right.
yeah, so he's also another person that play a big part in bringing me into the industry. He really showed me all the different aspect of the industry so that I can, know that actually it's a viable business. And yeah, that's how we got started lah.
So it's fascinating that you say that you started out as a consumer, a shopaholic of watches.
Yeah.
I have two questions on that, right? Number one is, what is it about watch that fascinate you so much?
Mm-hmm.
And number two, right, a lot of us are also shopaholics,
Yeah.
right? But we don't make the jump from, liking to,
exactly.
I like to buy cameras, doesn't mean that I want to make one.
Exactly.
So how do you make that mental leap?
Yeah, I think the being a shopaholic part, it basically shaped me from childhood, being an entrepreneur, being a trader, right? It's just like my dad, he likes to play fireworks. So he saw like there's a demand for it, and then like the businessman in him and also the businessman in me, right? Just think, hey, maybe I can sell something, I can do it. Yeah. So not just watches, actually for our brand, we actually exploring into things that I like to buy as well. Yeah, so whenever I look at something, when I go shopping, right, I think to myself, can I sell this?
okay. Always at work, the mind.
Yeah, that's my wife always complains. You never stop thinking about selling things. It's like, yeah, that's my passion,
I see. Okay.
Well, in his famous Stanford commencement speech, Steve Jobs talks about how we can only connect the dots of our life backwards. And when Travis told me about this next story, I can't help to think about how life really worked in mysterious way. From his wife, he got to know her uncle, who happened to be a major watch manufacturer in Hong Kong. And that uncle was really a key mentor to Travis in teaching him the ins and outs of the watch industry. As I have known Travis for a long time now, and I know that the story between how he met his wife and the possibility that the two of them ended up together was really close to zero. You see, both of them are from different ends of the world. His wife being a Canadian Hong Konger, and him having grew up in Singapore and Malaysia. So the possibility of them ending up together was already so slim. And to add to that she happened to have a relative that is a veteran in the watch industry, the very same industry that Travis was wildly passionate about. How low is the possibility of that happening? And yet, it does. But having said that, all that are just opportunity that life throws at each of us. What is important is what we really do with that opportunity when it presents itself. And Travis was able to grab that opportunity and lean into it.
Let's start at the beginning where you started this venture. You have a relative who is a manufacturer of watches.
Yep.
So what was the first step? You actually approached him to tell him that you wanted to start a brand?
Actually, it was really quite a random chance that we were just having dinner in Hong Kong. We visit, my wife's from Hong Kong. So we visit Hong Kong very regularly, like 2-3 times a year. So I didn't know the uncle has a watch factory. I know he's in business, but then we were just talking about watches, when watch people come together, they just non-stop talk about watches. And then he said, hey, actually, why don't you start your own brand? I was like, how can I start my own brand? So he told me about the manufacturing and stuff. And that was when the time where Kickstarter was starting up.
Right.
That was 2014. So it's picking up. Like we were one of the first few watch brand that raised fund on Kickstarter. So we tried and then asked about the investment and stuff. It was quite a comfortable amount to invest. And at that point in time, I like watches. I sketch out some designs and some concept, and that's how we got started. And got a friend to help out as well. I can't do everything. I'm probably good at designing, conceptualizing, but in terms of really operations and marketing, I probably needed a bit of help.
So would you say at the beginning when you first started launching in Kickstarter, do you already have this grand plan that you want to build a watch brand, not just a watch brand, but the everyday carry type of a brand?
Actually, no, not really. When the first brand that we started out is really very watch centric. Yeah, like the one that you're wearing right now.
I'll post it on Instagram.
Yeah, that's the very first watch. It's a very watch lah. It's not a everyday carry, but it's something that is classic, based on craftsmanship. If you like watches, you like it, like the integrate the design and all the things, right? It's not so much of a everyday carry kind of adventure feel like RZE lah.
Right. Okay. So from there, as you finish your first Kickstarter program and you started launching your own brand and turning it into a business, so what has been your biggest struggle during this first venture?
I think the biggest struggle is probably trying to reach out to people, right? Because we are nobody. At that point in time, people are really supportive of Kickstarter. So we were quite fortunate. Our first campaign, we managed to raise enough money to run the production, and then subsequently everything is just profit. So I must say we were like profitable from day one.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as the Kickstarter campaign was funded, we were profitable. So that was when we were able to double down and yeah.
The strategy is just keep launching new Kickstarter, or how?
Yeah, back in when we first started, we had to go this route. Launching Kickstarter and then raising the money, pre-order and then production and then delivery, right? Because we don't have the cash flow to run the production.
But after a while, of course, you gain your reputation in the market.
Yeah.
And that brand ends up being quite successful, not just in this region, but I assume at the time most of your buyers are actually from the States.
Yeah. Till today is still the case. About 70-80% of our market is from USA.
Okay. I understand. Unfortunately, that venture didn't end smoothly. You have a split with your co-founder, and of course, would you want to go a little bit deeper in it? Maybe more so on what kind of lessons you learn from that.
Yeah, I think for most, I can't say everybody, but most young aspiring entrepreneur, right? They are so enthusiastic and they focus on the success of the brand and they never think about exit strategies or like in case things happen, right? What to do, right? So I think one of the key lessons is to enter a venture with an end in mind. Yeah. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned, that when things happen, may be the good or the bad, right? Then there must be some kind of exit strategy where either co-founder can step out.
Right.
Yeah, but for our case, we didn't have such thing. We were enthusiastic, and then we just started the company, focused on growing big, fast, quickly, and when the things happen 5 years down the road, and we were really successful. I mean, relatively successful. That was when things start to turn not so
right, and the
nice.
vision start to diverge. Right?
Yeah. So, but then either one wanted to take over the company, and it didn't ended very nice, lah. Yeah.
All right.
Now, having split with his co-founder just before the pandemic, Travis now found himself out of a venture, and his day job was freeze as well. And he's stuck at home every single day. This is a stressful situation for anyone, especially when Travis is also the family's sole breadwinner at the time with 2 young kids. But instead of letting his stress get to him, he went back to the basics of what he does best and started sketching out a new watch that he would love to create. Here is how his current business, RZE, is born. And we talked to him about how he built this new brand step by step from just an idea.
I think most of the things that we do is started by a bit of by luck or by chance. And was started RZE in the peak of the pandemic. So April 2020, when everyone are not allowed to leave their home. Yeah, that was when I sat down. I just came out from the previous venture. I sold the company to my partner, and I basically sat down and then I said, oh, maybe I'll just draw something again. I have nothing to do at home. I draw something that I like, something from all the experience that I've gotten from the previous venture, right? All the experience, all the lessons that I learned from consumer, from production, and all the things that that I can streamline. I put it into RZE, and that was how I started. And again, it's there's no grand vision at that point in time. It's just like, I'll make something. I make a prototype. If nobody buys it, I just pay a couple $1,000 to make some prototype that I can wear. It's just like buying another watch, right? But this watch is one of one in the world. So that was how we made some prototype and started going.
Right. Of course, this time around, although it's a similar venture, but from your experience in the past 5 or 6 years, what are the key things that you did differently, especially during the pandemic as well? Right? How do you navigate that?
I think the one of the key lessons that we learned from the previous venture is the kind of movement that we put into the watch, the kind of components. So I kept it really simple. Like when the prototype came out, and a lot of people, some of the old friends that I showed the watch to, they said, "Oh yeah, this watch it looks too simple. It doesn't look like anything. There's nothing in it." So, but the thing is, the movement that we use, the component that we use are specifically chosen for a reason to be reliable, because we don't want to spend a lot of time doing customer service, and that really paid off, because down the road people will complain, why did you use such a basic movement? But then 1 year down the road, 2 years down the road, people are like saying, hey, your watch is still working, and the case is still flawless, and all the things that we put in from day one, it bear the fruits. And then now is when we start to get the people to talk about us and then say, hey, I've been wearing this watch for 2 years and it's still fantastic. So that is the word of mouth marketing that we got.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that was the original plan that we had for RZE, something that's no frills and works.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Focusing more on the quality side of things. During this time, of course, is also during the pandemic. You can't travel much, and how what's your struggle there? Were you still able to get the logistic ready and everything?
We were really blessed that we have some contacts. Like I think that's one thing that I really believe in, like helping out people, and ultimately one day they will come back and help you. So back in the previous business, I was helping out a few other brands to start up. I was consulting them and helping them. And ultimately, when I wanted to start something, those brands that I helped before, they already going, right? So when I needed some help, I wanted some logistic help, and people were like, oh, here's my contact. You can get the DHL account. And then, okay, wow. So we were able to overcome the logistic issue. And in fact, I was able to improve the logistic chain compared to the previous venture.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And it really seems that the people in this industry is actually quite helpful, right? They don't see you as a potential competitor, but rather you were helping them to start up something that might compete with you in the future. And then now end up they come back and help you.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that that's such the case in this industry?
Yeah, I can't say for all the competitors, but I think most of the brand owners know each other. Like we talk on Facebook, we talk on Instagram, and then we just share contacts, because the I think the watch market or the world is so big. You can make the same product, but there are so many different segments that you can approach. And it's just endless. The design can't be exactly the same.
And also maybe the customer will buy all the brands anyway.
Exactly. So in this particular niche, right? These people, they when they buy the watch, they will buy multiple colors.
Wow.
So like we have customer have like, for this particular watch, he will have like all the 10 colors. Same watch. So it's good for everyone.
Wow, okay. Not just something for practical use, but rather becoming a collector's market.
Collector's market, yeah. That's the thing that is fascinating about watches or like men's gears and stuff. You don't need a particular reason to buy it. You just want it. Yeah.
So far, okay. You launched this new brand during the pandemic. And of course, during this time, you learn about partnership and what to do and what not to do. And you decided to go into this venture by yourself, or at least with your wife.
Yeah,
right?
My wife, yeah.
But at the end of the day, you still need buy-in from other people to help you out, or need staff to help you out. How do you motivate or encourage and get these people to come and help you?
Yeah, I think that is one of the biggest challenge when it comes to getting like-minded people to join your venture, and not just join your venture, but to retain them. That is one of the biggest challenge. And one of the things that I didn't do so well in the previous business was to manage people. So this time round, especially during the pandemic as well, we got so much time, right? I really spent a lot of time like reading up and learning about managing people, leadership, or working with people particularly, because in my day job, right, I don't get to interact in like an office environment, working with across different departments and stuff. So I don't get that kind of exposure. I don't get a kind of experience to handle people, right? Yeah. So I need to make a conscious effort to manage my teammates, lah.
Right. I know some of the teammates still with you since the beginning of the launch.
Yeah.
And you have a few multiple good launches as well. And now you would say that RZE is reached the point where it's even better or equivalent to what you achieved in your previous brand.
Yeah.
So over this journey, what has been your, I guess, the biggest struggle that you face that you were able to overcome?
I think still getting talents and people to come in is one of the biggest struggle, because at this point in time, going to 2023, right, we are actually going to we're looking for full-time staff to expand the team, and this is actually the first time I ever hire someone. Yeah, I've never hired someone before. Previously, the previous venture, the interviews or the full-time staff always work with my partner.
Right.
So this is the first time. I don't know what it's going to bring. We're still looking, still drafting out the job description and the requirements and posting on job sites and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now, most of the things you have to be handling by yourself. But of the whole operation of the business, from designing R&D to managing people, and which part do you say is your core competence? Like you really enjoy? If today you can replace every single job scope that you have, which part will you retain for yourself?
I think it will still be product development. Yeah. I'm really passionate about designing something and then seeing it come to life from a rendering online into a physical watch, right? Like it really, every time when the prototype is sent from Hong Kong to me, it's like a Christmas unboxing, like, whoa, or like, yeah. So not every time is good, but so far it's so good. Yeah.
Can you share with us if there's any product launches that actually fail, or your initial expectation was really high but it really fall flat on your expectation, and how do you recover from that?
Yeah, I think this question came at a really good time because we just ended a failed campaign. Yeah, okay, like it's perfect timing. Yeah. So this product is actually a knife. I think you have seen the knife before. I showed it to you before. Yeah. So we did a Kickstarter campaign for it. It's a new product, so we decided to go on the Kickstarter route just to test out the market, whether they like it or not. So when we launched the knife, the response was really good. We sold like 1,200 pieces in just like 15, 20 days. But that's where the problem came. So just maybe a couple of days after we launched the campaign, we found the same knife on Amazon.
Wow. Okay.
So this is a very typical thing that happened to people working with factories in China for the very first time. So knife is not our core competency. Watches are, we are very confident of our supplier, but knife, we are really exploring something different. So this time round, we trust a company from China to make their knife, and unfortunately, they decided to play us out.
Right. Okay.
So the knife was on the campaign on Amazon, and then people was asking us, but we were really honest with them. We tell them what happened and stuff. We did changes to the knives, and we people know that the knife that we did was actually a prototype July, August last year. So they know the process, they follow the process. They know the factory played us out. We had no choice but to change the design and then try to continue the campaign. However, just before the end of the campaign, the factory decided to say that, hey, we are not going to make the knife for you anyway, even though we copied you.
Wow.
So we have no choice. We have to cancel the campaign. A very first product to knife and we sold so well in such a short time, and we have to cancel. That is like really disappointing for the team. We raised like about $70,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I didn't know this happened to you guys. And because knife, of course, is a new product, so you end up having to find a new supplier for that, and that supplier end up you previously doesn't have this relationship with this nice supplier, I suppose.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they were really professional in the way they handle the whole prototyping process, the manufacturing process. So we were really confident with them to go down the Kickstarter route and to launch the campaign before we actually have the knife on hand. So we did. Unfortunately, we got played out.
Wow. Okay. Is this something that happens quite often, or is this actually the first time you got infringed by your IP by a factory?
It's the first time that happened to myself. But if you look online and stuff, hundreds and hundreds of Kickstarter campaigns have been plagued by this problem.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really a draw of luck. Like if they decided to play you out, you can't sue them. Being a startup, you don't have the financial capability to sue them or do anything. In fact, like I tried to file a complaint to the platform, and they just can't do anything about it. Just like too bad. Like the good thing is we got back our deposit.
Okay.
So that is one blessing, right? At least we actually placed the deposit for the production already.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. But I guess in a very ironic way, it also shows that your product is really good, that a factory would want to copy it, right? So,
yeah.
If it's something
that's always a good thing.
Yeah, if it's something that they don't believe in, then maybe they won't go through the trouble of trying to play you out, I guess.
Yeah. Like they say, right? Imitation is the best form of flattery.
Yeah.
So
I guess congratulations to you.
But we're working on it again. We are looking for a new supplier. We don't give up just like that because we already have a core like 1,000 over people waiting to buy our knives. When we cancel the campaign, people were really happy. The comments were like, "Oh yeah, you guys are so honest," and then you would rather not take the money than to take the money and try to find a new supplier.
Yep.
So that's one thing that I think we get out of this campaign.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maintaining your reputation in the market.
Yeah, I think that's very important. It takes a long time to build a reputation. We took 2 to 3 years to build up this reputation of making good quality product, and we're not going to just throw it away over $70,000. We're not sure whether we can make the product.
Right. Okay. Definitely.
So going forward, right now with everything opening up again, and what's your direction for this company? Where do you see it? Maybe down years, 5 years down the road?
Yeah, I think in terms for RZE, right, we are more like gearing towards like a titanium gear lifestyle kind of brand, not just watches. We actually last year we partner another company in USA selling pens, titanium pens. So they're really famous. They've been in business for 10 years selling titanium pens and tools and stuff. The kind of product I'm making, like I always tell myself, am I going to use it? Yeah, so I'm making product that I am personally using it, very passionate about it. before I push it out to the market.
Right.
So bags and like pouches, all this kind of thing.
Right. Okay. So going back to basic, right? Would you create something that you will buy yourself?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But are there plans to go into maybe female lines as well, or are you still male centric?
We are predominantly still male centric, but there are plans. In fact, one of our watches we launched last year was trying to capture the female market, like a smaller size watch that fits my wife. My wife's wrist is typically small Asian female size wrist, right? Something that can fit her should fit most of the female around the world. Yeah, so that's a step that we took. We also came up with a pastel color dials, appealing for the collector's girlfriend or wife.
Okay. So the buyer will still be the male.
At this point in time, it's still there. It's still there. Yeah.
I see. Would you foresee, the distribution or the marketing channel to the female audience would be vastly different from your traditional audiences?
I think for female, it's a little bit challenging, but the taste is changing. Like you can see around the world, watch industry, they're starting to notice female spending power. Originally, people were saying, "Oh, female will probably just buy like a cheap $100, $200 quartz watch." But now we can see more female buying things like Panerai and stuff. They are Rolex, and they're exposed to such watches.
Right. Okay. I remember seeing a TikTok before. Entrepreneur coach was explaining that although the female market looks very big, but it's actually a very, very competitive market compared to the male market.
Exactly.
His reasoning is mainly because the female audience, they are more willing to try new things, and so the loyalty to brand is actually much lesser. And to guys like us, we tend to be maybe a little bit dumber, right? When we try something, it's good, it's reliable, we stick to the brand for life.
Yep. Exactly. I think we previous company we did try to look into female market and stuff. We did our market research. It's just like you say, a really competitive market, and the brand loyalty wise, probably because of the price point, it's really hard to build a very strong brand loyalty.
After growing RZE to a level where it is now more stable as a brand and a business, I wonder what aspiration Travis now has for his children after reflecting on the journey that he has been so far.
Okay. And like on a personal note, how do you view success? What is a successful life to you right now?
I think success is really quite subjective, to different person, different stage in life, different stage in the business and stuff. It's really there's no end to it. Yeah, you can't put like, oh, this is success. I have 1 million, is success. Or you have 2 million, is success. It's those are milestones, right? But I think success to me is having options to do the things you want to do in life in terms of family or business, right? Having the options to say, today I want to go for a holiday with my kids. Today, I want to spend this time with my kids. To be able to do that, I think you'll be successful. At this point in time, I think semi getting there, I get more time to, more options to do. When I want to go for a holiday, I don't need to worry too much. Yeah. And so for business as well, in terms of success, ability to try different things. Like for RZE, now we can try different things. We can say like, I want to make a bag. And people are like, hey, you make watches, why you make bag? And it's like, I just want to try. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. Then and I can just go on to something else, right?
Yep. Have the ability to and the freedom to have the time and the opportunity to experiment and try new things. And of course, like you said before, now you have you're married and we have kids. Is entrepreneur mindset, is it something that you hope you can instill into your kids as well? Do you wish them to have an entrepreneurial lifestyle in the future as well? Or you're more like your mom, you prefer them to have a stable job?
No, to be honest, I don't want them to have a stable job. I think the world economy and the world is just totally changing. Like, you see influencers, and I think what I trying to instill to my kids are like really to enjoy what they do and to be passionate about what they do. I think my eldest daughter is 9 this year, so she's starting to be a bit more sensible and then know what's happening. And she started to say, no, Papa, next time I want to take over RZE. So I was like, okay.
Already eyeing it.
Yeah, she's been eyeing it since last year. So I think it's really a subconscious thing, just like how my dad influenced me, right? Like my daughter is influenced by me and my wife. We were always working on the business during the daytime, and then she see us putting a lot of effort in it, like building something, and then we have like gatherings with like our customers, and we hold like get together, and she was there. She see people being really happy wearing our watches. I think she feel really proud as well. It's something that I think money cannot buy.
Yeah, hopefully you create it bigger and bigger over time, and then by the time she can bring it much to the next level.
Yeah. Like I was telling my team, right? We were trying to build a 100-year brand.
Right.
Yeah. That's the dream. I think if you talk about success in the company, maybe when it become really a 100-year brand, I think that will be a successful company.
Okay, now maybe another question on just asking you, trying to understand on your reflection on your journey, right? This time around, you have a co-founder, which is happened to be your wife as well. And she's really quite critical in helping you create this new brand and to the success that it is today. I myself have tried working with my wife on a few occasions, and it most of the time ended up in quite disastrous outcome. Right? Yeah. So I'm just wondering, from your experience, how do you maintain this good relationship, and how do you separate out the romantic relationship and the working relationship together? How do you make sure that you guys still, at the end of the day, will come back to, at the home, still have a cozy and warm home together?
I think this part is still work in process. We do have our ups and downs. We do some quarrels over times and stuff. But I think separating out the roles clearly is essential. So my wife is in charge of the admin side of things. Logistics, finance, customer service. Those are the roles that she's taking over. So you need to be very clear on who does what and who makes the decisions and stuff. So that part is done. And the other thing I think we have a problem is because we all work from home. So the line between working and the family is very blurred. So like my wife is a full-time housewife. So she had to take care of the kids. And then sometimes she'll be like, oh, I need to do the book closing. And then I need to pick up the girls. And you really have to be very understanding, which at times I may forget. And then like, hey, why is this not done yet? Then she'll be like, hey, I need to go pick up the girls, or the girls are sick and stuff. So this is one of the challenge that we have. One thing we try to solve this is by having an office. So last year itself, we got an office space, and then we will say, okay, 9 to 12, we'll go to the office, do the shipping, do the office stuff, and come back when the kids are back from school, and then no more work on her side. But for me, I will still continue working, and then she's okay with it. I'll be working on my computer. So a very clear time management, I think will help.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's definitely good advice. Like both segregation of duty and also segregation of workspace.
Workspace,
to make you realize, when are you at work? When are you supposed to be at home? Right.
Yeah. This is really hard, especially for business owner to draw this line. 6 p.m. someone call you from the factory, and are you gonna pick it up? If you're in the office, you're not gonna pick it up. You're just like, okay, I'm off work. Call me tomorrow. But for the business owner, you can't really do that. I mean, you can, but it's hard if you want the best for the company. So this is something that I'm working on as well. After 6, I'm not going to touch my computer, touch my phone. It's difficult.
From your huge experience of running this business, starting this business, and operating and making it into finding teams to come and help you, do you feel that the quality of a leader so far, is it something that you already have it in you since young, or you have to learn all this leadership quality over time, right?
I think for leadership quality, I wouldn't say that I have born a leader, but I think a lot of time is trial and error and reading up lah. I think looking at past experience, looking at how other people do it, right, is important. Like if I were to say that another lesson that I learned from a previous venture that I left was probably because of the leadership was, I mean, I was being a leader for a while, and we take turns. Being a leader wasn't my strength, and that probably created some a conflict as well lah. So, but I brought that out from the previous venture. I make sure that I make a conscious effort to be a better leader.
Right.
So it helps this new brand RZE. We have our teammates. They're really happy working together. You know, we hang out. You know, we meet each other overseas and stuff.
So far, of course, for you, the journey is, although you have been doing for 8 years, is still a long journey ahead for you. You're still very young. But so far along the way, do you have any regrets? If you go back to now to your 20s, is there something that you would do differently?
Well, we were a bit conservative initially. I guess having family and commitments does restrict yourself a bit from being adventurous and stuff. So I think if we go back, I think we will be a bit more aggressive lah, in terms of building the company, in terms of reinvesting the brands for the brand's growth and stuff to build the business better. And the other part is the human interaction part. I think I could have done it better. To handle people to build the team better.
So thank you. You have been listening to the founder of RZE, Travis Tan. You can check out his creation on rzewatches.com.
I'm Stanley, and you have been listening to the Asian Mavericks, produced by Value Invest Asia. If you like this show, please give us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, if you know of the perfect candidate for us to interview for our next episode, you can always reach out to us through our social media. And remember, you can always listen to the uncut version of all our podcasts 1 week early by joining our premium membership at valueinvestasia.com. Thank you. Until we meet again, stay safe.